Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Tallawah TV with Crystal Davis.
Golden Ricketts, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
I am well. You've made my night. Before we get started, please go ahead and big up the greatest parish in Jamaica.
You're putting me on the spot. So I'm gonna big up St. Thomas because I was born there, and I'm also gonna big up St. Andrew because I grew up there.
I love that. I'll take that. 14.94 games record. You weren't playing about tonight, were you?
No, I definitely knew that the girls were coming out here to fight, so I had to bring my A game and war them.
What got you going? Was it the cold or was it something else?
It's the cold. I like competing in the cold for some strange reason, but then after the first jump, I feel like it got even colder, and then the breeze started changing. So, yeah, I don't know.
What's next for you in terms of achievement? Because this is your greatest career medal, isn't it?
Yes. Apart from the World Championships, yes, this is my first gold. So what's next? I have the Monaco Diamond League next week, and I'm also going to be participating at the Knockout Championships in Bahamas.
Amazing stuff. And how does it feel to inspire the little kids in St. Thomas? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them with their eyes gripped to the screen saying, I want to be like Golden Ricketts.
Yes, definitely. I hope to be an inspiration to them. I hope they see themselves in me. If them foot long, them can try the triple jump. You know, if them slim, them can try the triple jump or even high jump.
What if them have short foot?
If them have short foot, then can try to cause some foot short too.
Amazing. Best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
My Tallawah is good afternoon, good evening, possibly good morning. All depends on where you are in the world. Let me know if you guys can hear me clearly in the comments section. Before I forget my manners, let me start off by actually apologizing. I've been MIA for the best part of, it feels like it's been 3 weeks, right? Although I did do a match review, somewhat of a match review with you guys after the second leg against Paraguay at the National Stadium, the office, as some of us like to call it, and I'm referring to the Reggae Girlz, obviously, for the November international window. So I did actually touch base with you guys once, if we're being honest here, maybe once. It's not good enough, but I was on my break, I was on my holiday, and I needed to just retune myself, needed to just take a well-deserved well-deserved rest, and get myself back together again and hit the ground running. And here I am, fresh cut. I don't know how you do it. Good day to yourself. Happy Sunday. How you doing? How's life treating you? It's been a while. Let me know how you're doing. Also, let me know who's your team for the World Cup. What a question. I should have looked at your picture. I had a feeling it might be Brazil. Let me know how you feel about the prospects of Brazil winning this year's men's FIFA World Cup taking place in Qatar. Who's your star player so far? Oh my. Yeah, I messed that one up, didn't I? This is what happens when you don't do live stream for such a long while. You end up fumbling over yourself. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, I had to pull brakes for a second. I was like, huh? What did I just say? Well-deserved rest is what I needed to say and what I should have said. So yes, had to just correct myself quickly there. Yes, please do go ahead and touch that like button for me. If you're new to the platform, please do go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hopefully, if this is your first time, it won't be your last. Hopefully, I can see you guys on my next live stream. And do what the man says. Go ahead and hit that like button. It doesn't cost you a thing. Loud and clear. That is that is great. Yeah, it's growing. Slow and steady. It's growing. And the glasses, people, you probably missed out on a couple of my last live stream. And the glasses, believe me, I'm just wearing it just to protect my eyes from all these different lights. My lights on the screen in front of me, and there's another light just over me, and there's also the roof light as well. So I got like 3 different lights shining at me all at once. So I'm just trying to take care of my eyesight. So yeah, fresh. How you feeling about the World Cup so far? How you looking? Think you can go all the way? You're definitely one of the favorites, aren't you? Number one ranked country in the world at the moment. Surely you are firmly in the pole position to be dubbed one of the favorites to lift the Cup in some weeks' time. I can't even bring up your last comment. Let me go ahead and just bring up the headline, and the headline reads for itself. And if you don't want to read it, I'll go ahead and read it for you. It says Reggae Girlz Weekend of Action Review. I did randomly spring this one up on you guys, but it is somewhat of a regular thing, with the exception of the last 2 weeks, I can call it. Didn't give you guys a weekend of action. I think I just missed out on possibly one weekend of Reggae Girls Weekend of Action, because during the 2 weeks we also had the international women's the break for the women's football league. So that simply meant that there was no football being played at international level, right? Took a break for the November international break, again relating to women's football. So I think I just missed maybe one weekend of action review with you guys, which would have been last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. If I miss more than that, then all I can do is just apologize. But I needed my rest, and here I am. You guys are always telling me to go ahead and take my break, so I did that. I went and took my break. So I'm all good to go for the final stretch of the year, right? 2023 is in eyesight, guys. Hopefully we all make it. Hopefully we all can pull ourselves through to 2023. Good night, Mr. Rockford. It has been a while. It has been a while. How you been? How you looking? Who's your team for the men's World Cup? Who you supporting? Might be a Brazil. Is it Brazil or is it someone else? Most Jamaicans so far, they're back in Brazil for obvious reason, historical reasons. Quite a few. When I was in Jamaica, I saw quite a few Argentina fans as well. Saw plenty Argentina fans. Saw some France flags as well. So it was either Argentina, France, or Brazil. Didn't really see of. Oh, I did see a few England flags as well, but not to a great extent. Always, you have to give him his props, right? Because he's always here. And if you are just tuning in and you're wondering what tonight's show is all about, the headline, like I said, reads for itself. Reggae Girls Weekend of Action Review. I'm back, and I'm going to be here every weekend with you guys, giving you the Sunday show of the Reggae Girls Weekend of Action. Basically a recap of how the girls have performed for their respective clubs across a number of leagues, right? Brazil, okay. I should have known, right? It's not hard to guess, is it? It was going to be Brazil. So yeah, you're looking good at the moment. So hopefully you're smiling in some weeks time when it comes to lifting the all important trophy. So what I'm gonna do, because I am working to time, I'm trying to see if I could get this all wrapped up within the hour, because I do have an early start. You guys should know by now that my Monday mornings are usually a painful one. It's a 5:30 a.m. wake up call for me, guys. So yeah, Monday mornings are a little bit of a tough one. So I'm gonna try and see if I can breeze through the weekend of action review with you guys. And then I'm gonna close off. Some good news is that I'm on a couple early shifts next week. So that simply means that I have more time to myself. So if something pops up that requires some attention, then obviously that simply means I'll be giving you guys possible a midweek stream as well. So I'll keep my eyes peeled to see what needs to be discussed with you guys. The phone lines are open, by the way, if anyone wants to phone in. Let me just double check that. Just do something on my phone. It has been on silent since I landed in Jamaica, so I just need to make sure I take that off silent so I don't miss anything. And apologies if you guys reached out to me and you couldn't or I didn't provide you with a response. My apologies. Also had an issue with my WhatsApp as well, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. I don't know what the hell happened, but I was getting messages and they weren't coming through until I restarted my phone. So again, my apologies. Yeah, they are looking good. They are looking good. Whether or not they can go on to winning it, that's a whole different topic of conversations. But yes, they are looking good. Mr. Campbell, how are you? Good evening. How you doing? What's on the dinner menu, guys? Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what's on your dinner menu. I'll go first. I had some oxtail and rice, and that's my Sunday Monday. So that's my lunch sorted for tomorrow. Possibly my dinner as well. So there we go. So let me know what you guys are having in the comment section. Mr. Campbell, if you're just tuning in, it seems like you are, because I've only just seen your comment. There you have your headline, Reggae Girlz Weekend of Action Review. I've been talking at you guys for about 10 minutes now, randomly. So I think now it's a good time to dive right into the weekend of action review. And I think is you guys haven't told me to do things differently, so I'm just gonna stick to the same old, same old. That simply means that we're starting things off in the top tier of women's football in England. So that means that we'll be starting things off in the WSL, and we're looking at the current crop of Reggae Girls and how they perform for their respective clubs. Also going to look at the second tier in England, which is the Championship, and then we're gonna maneuver around Europe and see what's going on elsewhere, right? So I hope it all makes sense. If it doesn't, then drop a comment in the comment section and I'll try and add some clarity to what I've just said. Right then, okay, so let's turn on this shared screen. StreamYard looks different. They've made some they've made some internal changes. So things looking a little bit different, not too different, that is. But so all right, let's go ahead and turn on. I can see you had pepper steak. Okay, I gotta bring that one up. Lucky for some, that's a rich menu. Fried chicken and rice and peas. Okay, well, eat for both of us if you haven't already eaten. My God, wow. Sometimes I shouldn't ask these questions because someone's bound to have something that's gonna catch my eye and make me wish that I was sharing a plate with them. So hope you enjoy your Sunday dinner. Don't know what you're planning on drinking with it. I don't know, is it carrot juice? I don't know what you're planning. Was it pineapple juice? Whatever it is. Enjoy. That's a lovely dinner option. Mr. Hendricks, I am well. How are you? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. You're just tuned in the nick of time, and you guys have been hitting the like button. I think that has something to do with Fresh, nothing to do with me. Because have I told you guys to hit the like button? I think I might have said it once. But Fresh is always on cue, asking you guys to go ahead and hit the like button. Um, Jesus, because soursop juice. Wow. Okay, I like that. Brazil, you're back in Brazil. No surprises there. Yeah, majority of Jamaica seems to be back in Brazil. Obvious reason, historical reasons. I don't really think I need to dive into that. But what I do need to dive into is the Reggae Girlz Weekend of Action review, and that's what I'm about to do. So sit tight. If I say something that requires a little bit of clarity, then drop a comment in the comment section and I'll try and tidy things up for you guys, okay? All right, let's go over to my first screen, and you should be looking at the WSL results, right? Let's just double check and see if that's what you guys are looking at. Yes, it is. It's pretty much straightforward, right? Two teams here that we're looking at is Manchester City. That's the home of Khadija Shah, and we're also looking at that's Bunny, in case you guys are wondering. Some people are still a little bit confused by that. Bunny, that does equal Khadija Shah. Khadija Shah equals Bunny. They're the same people. And if you're not following the Reggae Girls heavily, then some people are a little bit confused. So don't be. And also Tottenham Hotspurs, that's the second club there. And that's the home of Drew Spence and Rebecca Spencer. So we're going to start off. We're going to go with the first results closest on my screen, which is a 3-1 victory there. Reads for itself, doesn't it? And Is it a bit of a breaking news? Is it shocking to see that Bunny isn't on the score sheet? Is that a surprise? That did catch me by a surprise. So it shocked me, probably shocked you guys as well. So yes, surprise, surprise. Bunny isn't on the score sheet on this occasion, but on a more positive note, Bunny Shaw and Manchester City defeated Brighton 3-1, and the victory takes them to 8 consecutive wins in all competitions. And that is wonderful news. I remember at the start of the season, we were sat here just kind of scratching our heads with Manchester City and looking at their somewhat shaky start to the season, going out of the Champions League at early doors, didn't advance to the all important group stages. They actually went out to Real Madrid, bit of a deja vu ending for Manchester City and Real Madrid with how that result panned out. And also do you guys remember the player who pretty much sent Manchester City packing? The irony in all of that. Probably laughable if you are the player. It's a good way of saying, look at me now, or what were you thinking when you let me go? I don't know. Do you guys remember the player? If you don't, I might give you a gentle reminder, or I just might just leave you guys to figure that one out. So if we go ahead and, like I said, that's 8 consecutive victories there in all competitions, that is, for Manchester City, and you can see how things are looking much more pleasing than how it looked at the start of the season. A couple of the results that it's not so pleasing on the eye. Again, this results right here against Real Madrid, and they obviously lost that one. And then the opening day of the season, I think this one pretty much caught a few people by surprise. It did for me because I was fully backing Manchester City to kickstart their league campaign in the Barclays Women's Super League on a high, and they fell to a narrow 4-3 defeat against Aston Villa. And they recorded back-to-back defeats at the start of the season. So we were sat here looking and thinking, oh boy, this could be a repeat of last season for Bunny and Manchester City. Thankfully, they've managed to turn things around, and they've been on a upward trajectory since then, looking quite positive, and long may it continue. Reggae Girlz Derby here played in October. That was Drew Spence and Rebecca Spencer versus Bonnie Shaw, so Tottenham versus Manchester City. And they also defeated Liverpool. Liverpool came up to the top flight of women's football this season, made a return to top flight of women's football in England for this campaign. And they done so, haven't been crowned the champions of the Barclays Women's Championship. Again, the second tier of women's football in England. So if we go ahead and actually hold fire, let's go and look at Tottenham, and then I'll do my second suggestion. Not exactly a pleasing reading, this one, is it? Rebecca Spencer and Drew Spence. Now you guys want to see the all-important lineup. So there you have Rebecca Spencer between the sticks, and you have the Don Spence right there in the number 24. Should be able to see all of this on your screen. And like I said, a narrow 1-0 defeat. And that was her own goal. Fair play to Reading, though, because that was conceded inside the 12th minute. If we go and look at the table, it's all about the top three. If you're talking about progressing to one, talking about it's a competitive league, isn't it? With between the top, well, number one through to the 4th position. But in terms of Champions League football, you don't want to be casting your eyes on what the top 3 teams are doing. And things have changed since we last looked at this league table. So you might want to close your ears if you're an Arsenal fan. that winning streak's been put to bed, and surprise, surprise, it's the one that seems to give the trouble the most when it comes to breaking unbeaten streak for Arsenal. And if you know your team on the men's side or on the women's side or both, then you should know that that team is Manchester United, and they broke Arsenal's unbeaten run. I believe it was last week, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, the unbeaten run has come to an end. That was an exciting game. Even if you're just a neutral, if you support Arsenal, probably not. If you support Manchester United, obviously, that was a fantastic result for you. So, leading the top of the table in the WSL is the blue half of London, Chelsea. They're sitting on 24 points. And just beneath them is level on points. The only thing that separates these two sides, Arsenal and Manchester United, is the goal difference there that you can see, 21 points apiece. So it's pretty tight at the top. 3 points separating those guys there from pegging back Chelsea, and even with Manchester City as well. It is quite tight between the second, third, and fourth place team, and also the pack that's leading the charge at the moment. But as things stand, remains to be Chelsea. I'd like to see things change. Manchester City are just not what they were some seasons ago, are they? So I have no idea if they could don't think that they're going to turn things around this season. But it's football, the ball is round. Who knows? Miracles happen every single day. So hopefully, listen, Tottenham, the shirts behind me is preventing me from saying what I've said about Manchester City, okay? But best of luck for the rest of the season. That goes out to Drew Spence and also Rebecca Spencer as well. Good luck for the rest of the season, and I do mean that. But can I say I want to see you sitting in the number one position? Just take a look at the shirts behind me, and you could figure out the answer for that. But good luck. Would like to see, joke aside, would definitely love to see Tottenham and Man City pull themselves up higher on the table. But like I said, it is competitive, heavily competitive. And the current champions from last season are placed firmly at the top. This one could probably go down to the wire, similar to what happened in last season's campaign between Chelsea and Arsenal. Chelsea coming out triumphant on the final day of the season to be crowned Queens of England. So, no idea what's going to happen this time around. Any team but that team sitting in second place will do me just fine. I think I've said enough for the WSL. So just to reiterate, the two teams there to keep your eyes on as it relates to our current Reggae Girls, Man City for Bonnie Shaw and Tottenham Hotspurs for Drew Spence and Rebecca Spencer. Right, let me see what you guys are saying in the comments section. I've not been ignoring you all. Let me see. TJ, hi, Crystal. I hope you're okay. I'm just dropping a like because I'm going. Oh, bless you. Thank you, TJ. Travel safe. I hope you return safely. Enjoy the time with your family. I hope you're all in good health. Are you guys on a dinner mission? I hope you're on a dinner mission. And if you are, then eat for both of us. Enjoy your Sunday dinner if you haven't already had it. And thank you for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Miss Panton, good day to yourself. How you doing? Right, let's just see. Oh, interesting. Is she a Germany fan? Interesting. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Interesting, that one. She always seems to support the team that doesn't get the majority of backing, doesn't she? I'm not gonna read that one out because you guys know where I resign and I don't want no trouble. So that comment's not from me, but I'm gonna leave it on the screen for the time being. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the second tier of women's football in England. I got something in my eye, and it's just gonna have to stay there until I can either no longer bear it or until I close off because I can't be asked. So we're spoilt for choices in this league, as I've stated, and so many different live streams. Spoilt for choices or Reggae Girls are it's pretty much the Reggae Girls Championship, the Reggae Girls English Championship, right? Because we're just everywhere when it comes to the top half of the table. That is the more respective clubs. We're cemented all over the place. All right. So what we're gonna do is, I guess it's right to just start off with the first result in front of me, and that result is actually looking at Birmingham City, and they were on a away trip against Blackburn Rovers. Remember Blackburn Rovers from the PlayStation 2 days? You guys play PlayStation 2 or PlayStation at all in the early millennium? Probably telling my age a little bit, but yeah, Blackburn Rovers. So right, in case you guys are wondering, Birmingham City, that is the club belonging to Siobhan Wilson. Some good news there in front of you, as you can see right here in the 45th minute. This is inside additional time, just before the the halftime whistle blew. And like I said, good reading if you support Reggae Girls, that is. Siobhan Wilson opened the scoring on the brink of halftime as Birmingham City sealed a 2-0 victory over Blackburn Rovers. Let's go ahead and click that timeline and see. So yes, like I said, stroke of half time scored inside additional minutes of the first 45, and that's what we like to see our Reggae Girls on the score sheet, even if they're not in those attacking positions. Says a lot about Siobhan Wilson, doesn't it? I actually think she was, for me, one of the standout players against Paraguay in the second game in the from the November international window. I can't speak about the first game because I didn't watch it, but I was at the stadium for the second game, and for me, can put her name in the hat for player of the match. Not sure why she was substituted. Only the gaffer can answer that. I'm not the gaffer, so he must know what he's doing. I don't. So yes, that's how things is looking for Siobhan Wilson and Birmingham City, and as ever, long may it continue. And the next club for us to cast our eyes on, probably just gonna who's the next in line? It is Crystal Palace. They've got a few results here as well to look at. Cast your eyes at the bottom of the screen. But before we get there, let's go ahead and look at Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace is the home of Paige Bailey Gale, and it's a good result, isn't it? They recorded a 1-0 victory over Lewis. And I know what you guys are wondering because you have not seen Paige Bailey Gale's name as the goal scorer. So I know you're probably wondering, did she play? And you can see she dons the number 14 jersey for Crystal Palace. So if you want to buy yourself a jersey, go ahead and put Paige Bailey Gale's name on your back. If you're going for Crystal Palace or whatever you do, the national side is down to you. I'm not going to try and point you in no direction as you guys are on your own with that one. But when it comes to clubs, there's a Reggae girl that's playing for your local club or the team that you support, then kind of makes sense to put their name on your jersey, doesn't it? I mean, who else are you going to choose? Who else is worthy? Can't really think of anyone in Crystal Palace's case. No disrespect to the players, or I should say Paige Bailey Gale's teammates. All right, so let's go ahead and look at my next team, which should be London City, and that's the home of Atlanta Primus. This one reads for itself. Don't think you need me to read it out for you, but I will. You can see there, judging by the results, that it's some okay results, but when you kind of dive into it, you can see there that is some drop points, isn't it? Um, and that's Atlanta Promise and London City on that occasion. They were made to share the points against Southampton, and again, I'll click on what you guys want to find out in terms of where is she. She's right here. She dons the number 20 jersey. So if you want to buy yourself a London City jersey, or your Tottenham or Man City, Crystal Palace, Birmingham City, whoever, Rangers, Hearts, you know what to do when it comes to putting those all important names on your back. I don't think I need to reiterate it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at Bristol City as well. Is it surprise? Is it a surprise to see her name on the score sheet? I don't think so. It's becoming somewhat of a norm these days. Quite similar to the London City result in terms of the end results, the full-time score being made to share points there. You can see it was Shania Hayles who opened the scoring there for Bristol City, and they were picked back. All that action, exciting action took place in the first 45. And just like her countrywomen, Atlanta Promise and London City, Bristol City, and Shania Hills made to share points against their opponents, or I should say, share points with their opponents, Durham. Not the worst result. And if you look at the table right in front of you, good results if you support the Reggae Girlz. They're leading the charge. They've had a swap because we're so used to seeing Bristol City at the top of the table, right? So London City are now at the top. So that's Atlanta, Premise, and London City currently occupy the top place position in the second tier of women's football in England. And don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you can see there that it's happened. We didn't want it to happen, but it has happened. Bristol City, their unbeaten start to the season's come to an end. And this is how it happened. It's bittersweet. It is bittersweet. And here's how it happened against Birmingham City, the home of Shania. Not Shania, Siobhan Wilson. So that's Shania Hayles versus Siobhan Wilson. Another Reggae Girlz derby. Do you celebrate that? I don't know. I'm not gonna try and lead you guys down no type of road. That's down to you guys to figure out. But for me, as ever, that one is a bit of a bittersweet. Doesn't really matter who wins that one, though, does it? Because it's Reggae Girl versus Reggae Girl, obviously. So yeah, so they've picked up the one and only defeat of the season, quite similar to London City, one defeat of the season. And then the other two teams there for us to keep tabs on is Birmingham City, home of Siobhan Wilson, and Crystal Palace, home of Paige Bailey Gale. And that's how they're looking, guys. And hopefully they can continue in the forward direction, pick up those all important maximum points, and pull themselves up higher up the table. And I'm referring to Birmingham City and Crystal Palace. London City, all you can do right now is to extend that gap, widen that gap, and then it's up to Bristol City to try and catch you. So it's exciting times if you follow the Reggae Girlz and you're looking at the second tier of women's football in England. There's not really much there to be upset about, is it? We're currently occupying the top 2 position, and we're also sitting in the number 5 and number 6 position. So hopefully there's some reshuffling there. Wouldn't mind knocking down Charlton and Southampton. They don't really need to be in 3rd and 4th, do they? So hopefully we can see a swap over the next coming weeks or so with Birmingham City and Crystal Palace moving up, higher up on the table. Let's see. Good evening. Yes, it does. It's got me in a chokehold at the moment. But this week, tomorrow is an early start. I've got back-to-back early starts this week, but it also means that I'll be finishing at a respectable time. So yes, work does have me in a chokehold. I can't lie. So, but it is what it is, right? You have to gotta get the job done. You have to do what it takes. That's media for you. Media, I always tell people that people want to like get into the media industry. You better be prepared for some unsociable hours because that's what it's all about when you work in media. Better be prepared to pass that social life of yours. Which team are you supporting? The team with the most black players. I've purposely not picked a team this World Cup because I've enjoyed sitting back and laughing at people when results don't go according to plan, and it's been entertaining. So yeah, I've not really picked a team. You know what it is? I've not really been in the World Cup spirit. I don't know if it's because it's a Winter World Cup and this is our first Winter World Cup. We're so used to having World Cup in the summer that I'm not in a World Cup mood. But the last couple of games have been so gripping. Like over the last couple of days, I've been watching the games with my colleagues at work, and we're like, it's just been so gripping. Um, yeah, it's been exciting. I enjoyed Suarez tears. I'm sure I'm not the only one who enjoyed seeing Suarez crying. All my colleagues loved it. So yeah, there's been some gripping moments, but I've not been like fully World Cup mode. It probably changed because it's now the knockout rounds, right? It's when things start to get a little bit tense. People are biting their fingernails, hoping that their team, their country hold on. So yeah, I don't have a team. I'm just hoping that the team with the most black players win. How did you you tell me? You tell me. You're the G Wagon boss. You tell me who's your team? Who's your team? Who are you supporting? So far in the comment section, we've got Brazil and Germany. Those are the two nations that people are supporting. So who's your team? In the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make my way over. I'm gonna make my way up to Scotland. Take a little trip to Scotland. Do they have the results up? Yes, they do. They kind of frustrate me at times because sometimes they don't show the games the results long after full time says. They do my head in sometimes. I don't know who to blame. Do I blame the Scottish Women's Premier League, which is the top flight of women's football in Scotland, or do I blame Google? I don't really know who to blame. I'm going to blame the Premier League because you should complain to Google and tell them to speed things up a bit. Um, so yeah, it's not good enough. But here's what's good is this absolute hammering for Rangers, and that is the home belonging to Kayla McCoy. And they're completely tucked in Glasgow women. I know it says girls, but they're also known as Glasgow women, different to the leaders, Glasgow City. They actually sit rock bottom of the top flight of women's football in Scotland. Look at this. They have a goal difference of minus 64. They're basically the punching bag. So whoever their next opponent is, they must be licking their lips. Rangers have a healthy goal difference of 57, the best there is at the moment in their league. The team above them is Glasgow City, and they are currently leading by 2 points. Only two teams remain unbeaten in the Scottish Women's Premier League, and that is the leaders, Glasgow City, and also the Rangers, the home of Kayla McCoy. And yes, I haven't mentioned Chantal Swaby because she no longer plays for Rangers. She is over in France with SC Flohy, so that's the reason why I've not mentioned Chantal Swaby. So that is how we're looking. I'm gonna take a quick look glance at the comment section again. Brazil. You weren't at the game. Okay, let me say I did not see you at the game. For me to say you weren't at the game, and I'm talking about the women's Reggae Girlz versus Paraguay. I didn't see you at the game. So that is the reason why there was no link up on that end. I only managed to see Rochelle. Rochelle was the only person and a close friend of mine. So two people I managed to see literally straight after the game, and and I'm talking about people that I speak to regularly here. And I also got to meet some soldiers from the game as well who coincidentally subscribed to the channel. So I got to meet quite a few people. Um, and then other than that, just randomly met up with people who reached out to me. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're Mr. International, so only Lord knows if you were even in the country. You probably weren't even on home soil if we're being honest, because considering you weren't at the game, I'm trusting that you weren't in the country. Because you take flights more than how the average person take public transport. So that could be the reason why coach looking for Brazil supporters. Is it? Is that what he's doing? All right, let me go back over to the Scottish Women's Premier League. And what we're going to do here, we're going to look at Hearts. This is the home belonging to Vian Sampson, for those of you who are wondering. Positive results here is that they won, clearly, beating Hamilton 5-0. And that is a wonderful victory. They're currently occupy the fourth place position. And you would have noticed that Sampson was missing from the team sheet, the squad, the squad announcement, right? So she wasn't in the starting 11 and she wasn't on the bench. And that's a precautionary decision by her coach and the backroom staff. So hopefully we'll see her in the next game. And yeah, she can look to get things kicking again. I think she's looking good for Hearts. That's a club that's new to her. Previously at Charlton. So I'm hoping that life in Scotland's treating her well. So those are the two teams there to keep your eyes on if you're following the Reggae Girlz. Hearts for Vian Sampson and Rangers for Kayla McCoy. Right, we're looking all right. Hearts have pulled themselves up the table, and I like that. Hopefully they can knock off Celtic there. Now, to be fair, Celtic are out with 31 points, and they are one of the better teams in the league as well. That's not to say that it's not possible to take the third spot away from them. Football is played on the day and the ball is round, so anything is possible. But I'm going for another Reggae Girlz victory this season in the league. Would love for Rangers to retain their title and be crowned Queens of Scotland once more. So long may it continue, and also I'm wishing the best for Hearts as well. Would love to see them continue to climb up that table, right? So let me see how you guys doing in the comments section. How long have I been? It's almost 1 hour. All right, so where we're gonna go? We're gonna go over to we're going over to the Czech Republic. I'm about to be the bearer of bad news, so I do apologize. I've kind of pre-warned you guys, so you can close your ears if you're not interested in what I have to say after that, given what I've just said. And if we're in the Czech Republic, then you know we're there to see Lika Keen and also Slavia Prague. They're currently occupying the number 2 position, and that is in the top flight of women's football in the Czech Republic. And it's not great news, guys. And this is the first time this season that we've said this as it relates to league football, right? You can see there that they lost 2-1 away from home. And also the unbeaten streak has been broken, right? So after 11 games, 9 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. It's what we didn't want to happen. It's finally happened. They're currently sat on 28 points. Only 1 point separates them from their rivals, Sparta Praha. They currently lead the top of the table, 29 points, and they're still unbeaten. So in the last couple of weeks to the present, we've seen Slovakia. They were on an unbeaten run as well, quite similar to Slavia Prague, and they have since lost 2 games. And as I stated, Slavia Prague have lost one game. Only unbeaten team at the moment, unfortunately, is Sparta Praha. I'm hoping that they lose their next match, if not the other match. Pretty much, I just don't want them to go through a season unbeaten. Why would I want that? And more importantly, I'm hoping that Alika Keen and Slavia Prague finishes the season above them. So hopefully, we can see Keen and Slavia Prague leapfrog Sparta Praha. We're going to keep our eyes on Czech Republic. Football, top flight of women's football in the Czech Republic as the season continues. And I did mention. Let me just try to allow my brain to catch up with my. I did mention Chantel Swaby, so let's go ahead and look at FC Flohé, and they're playing top flight of women's football in Scotland. And you can go ahead and cast your eyes on Friday's result. Montpellier, they came back into it, so that's a good result. They went down at early doors from the penalty spot. Montpellier tucked away a penalty inside the 6 minutes. But Chantal Serbian and FC Flohé, they fought hard to salvage a point. So that's better than a loss, obviously. And I'm going to give you guys what you want to see. You can see Chantal Swaby right there at the back. And if we just backstep just a little bit, we can look at the table. They're currently in fifth position, but it's not a joke league, this one, guys. They're there with the likes of Lyon, PSG, Paris FC, as I've said, Montpellier, former club belonging to Khadija Bunny Shaw, Bordeaux, to name a few. So it's not a joke league. To be sat in fifth position at present, there's no shame to their game. It's within reason. And they're sat on 15 points at the moment. Hopefully, we'll see some changes as the season pan out. And also, let me just see if I can do something for you guys. Probably it's gonna sound like a bit of a broken record. Can I get it up? Where is it? The wait is over. The wait is finally over. Been asking for this for how long? And it's over. Jamaica Women's Premier League returns. So let's go ahead and just see what's been. I have no idea what that is. So let's go ahead and give that another spin. My apologies. I have no idea what happened just then. So let's just try and redo that for you guys, and hopefully it should work. Right? Yeah, it does. I should probably remove the headline temporarily so you guys could have a little look. Jamaica Women's Premier League. I know this is music to the ears of many. Finally, it's back. You can see the two zones there, Zone A and Zone B. And as it says just beneath, this is on the Jamaica Football Federation social media channel, so you guys can go ahead and keep an eye on it. And season kickoff December the 4th, so that is today, 2022. Each of the teams from the two zones will play games on a home and away basis at select venues, in addition to 4 cross-zone games. Was talking to a friend of mine, and we're looking and we're like, why can't we just do it like how it probably should be done? As in, why not just follow the English or European model? Why make it so Americanized? I don't know how you guys feel about that, but let me know how you feel about the setup of the league. But the overall thumbs up there is that the women's football in Jamaica is back. That's the Jamaica Women's Premier League, for those of you who are wondering. So I'm gonna keep you guys in the loop as the weeks come and go, as it relates to football with our Reggae Girlz all across the board. And hopefully we can see a couple surprises here and there, maybe a couple players going into semifinals and finals, lifting trophies as we saw last season, possibly a couple unbeaten campaigns for Reggae Girl. We've seen it already last season. Hopefully, we can see it again this season. Hopefully, our girls can taste further silverware. It isn't impossible because it has happened and it can happen again this season. And I've pretty much breezed through that. So, thank you to those of you who have tuned in. I'm on the early shifts. I have got was on the graveyard shift last week, but thankfully, when you're working with good people, those graveyard shifts feel like a breeze. So thankfully, I'm in good hands. And like I said earlier on in the show, if something pops up that requires a conversation, then obviously I'll be back with you guys during the week. If you want to get in touch with me, please just hit me up on WhatsApp. Doesn't always have to be about the show. If it's about the show, if it's about an idea for the show, then please fire away. If it's just a little hello, then again, fire away. Apologies to those of you who reached out to me over the last couple of weeks. Some of you said you couldn't get through to me. Again, there appears to have been an issue with my WhatsApp, but I'm hoping that all is well now. I think we're good. So yeah, you can go ahead and get in touch with me and I'll respond to you guys. Um so let's see. Let's go through the comment section. I think it's been quite quiet in the comment section. I can't really blame you guys because it probably caught you guys by a bit of a surprise with this live stream. So before I forget my manners, thank you so much for tuning into the show. It is just under the hour, so it's probably one of the quickest shows I've had with you guys. Shall we take a look at ending things off on what's going on in the Men's World Cup? Why not? Because we did touch on some Men's World Cup. Majority of you are supporting Brazil. Maybe one of you is supporting. I'm gonna say supporting Germany because although you should be at home by now, I'm pretty sure that's not gonna stop you from supporting the Germans, right? So this is today's results. They're in front of you. For the last 16, you can see the overall results from yesterday to today. So you're going to be having from yesterday's results, you're going to be having Netherlands taking on Argentina, and from today's results, you'll have France taking on England tomorrow. Even more big showdowns. You've got Japan playing Croatia and Brazil taking on South Korea, and the winner of each will play each other. And then we continue over to the Tuesday fixtures: Morocco versus Spain and Portugal versus Switzerland. And again, just like the others, winner plays each other, and then you get into the quarterfinals. We're already into the quarterfinals, which I've already touched on, with Netherlands versus Argentina, England versus France. Then you've got 2 more games there to fill the spots. You have the all-important semis and the third place playoff. And then the big showdown taking place on December the 18th. 18th of December is the final. Etch that one into your calendar. That's going to be played on a Sunday, 3 p.m. kickoff if you're in the UK, that is. 5 hours ahead of you if you're in Jamaica. So kind of go ahead and do the maths. Right. So, Miss Brown, how you doing? So that is how that's looking there, guys. So we've already been through the WSL, the Women's Championship, both of which are played in England from the first tier through to the second tier. Also looked at football elsewhere in Europe, in France, and also in the Czech Republic. Also looked at the Scottish Premier League top division of football played in Spain. We didn't look at Hungary. There's a break there in the Hungarian top division, hence not looking at them. and a couple other divisions there where the girls play, but a couple of our players weren't part of the squad, hence no discussion on them. So hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that. So yeah, unless you guys have something to throw at me in the comments section, I'm gonna give this one another minute and then I'm going to close off and I'll see you guys during the week. It's bang on 11 o'clock and that is exactly what I wanted. I did say I wanted to close off at 11. So yeah, I've done good. And I think that's what we're gonna do every Sunday, guys, just so that I can get my much needed rest for my dreaded Monday mornings. I'm gonna have to close up at the latest 11 p.m. UK time until things changes with work. But for now, I'm in a bit of a chokehold. I can't complain because I'm working with some awesome people, so no complaints from my end. Also working on some exciting stuff linked to the Reggae Girlz, and hopefully if all goes according to plan, I'll be able to share some information with you guys in due course, that is. And in case I've forgotten my manners, thank you to those of you who have tuned in. I hope you're having a fabulous Sunday. If you haven't had your dinner yet, what time is it in Jamaica? Let me go and see. 6 o'clock. I mean, most of you have had your dinner already, right? By now. Most of you should have had your dinner by now, right? And if you haven't, when the time comes, please do go ahead and eat for both of us. I'm going to be getting myself ready for bed and I will speak to you guys. I feel like I need to give you guys a midweek stream, right? But the thing is, I don't just want to come on here and just talk nonsense to you guys. So if you guys have any ideas, then drop me a message via WhatsApp, that is, or on Instagram, whatever works best for you guys. And yeah, I'll see if I can just give you guys something. Even if it isn't relating to women's football, let me throw that out there because I do cover other stuff as well. So, all right then. So, just under the hour, which is very unusual. Thank you guys for your continuous support. I'm back. I'm well rested, and I can't believe I'm saying that. Didn't realize just how tired I was until my body kind of slumped after I came back from Jamaica. I realized just how tired I was. So, yes, those late nights did a number on me, but I'm now refreshed. I'm ready to go, full of energy. And you guys are going to be seeing me on here more regularly because you deserve that. And I've been a little bit MIA. I can only apologize, but for good reasons, right? So, if I don't see you between now and the rest of the week, I hope that you have a fabulous week. If you're out and about on your journey, be it coming home from work, making your way to work, or maybe you're on a personal trek, whatever it is, hope that you make it home safe and sound. The dreaded Monday morning is almost upon us. In the next just under an hour, it'll be bang on 12 a.m. here in London, which means the Monday is upon us. Hope you guys have a smashing week, a productive one. I must emphasize that I hope you guys have a productive week. Smash those goals out the park. I'm going to be seeing you guys here again next week, Sunday, for another Reggae Girlz weekend of action review, looking at the Reggae Girlz and how they played from their respective leagues across a number of countries. So we're gonna be giving that another spin and possibly talking about some other topics as well. If you guys want me to talk about add other topics to the show outside of the usual Reggae Girlz topic of conversation, then let me know and I'll be glad to look into it. Right? And my time here has come to an end. And you know how it goes. If you're new to the channel, please do go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, kindly go ahead and hit the like button. It's been a pleasure. As always, take care of yourselves. Until next time.
I'm John Barnes, and you're watching Tallawah TV with Crystal Davis.